and greetings from Chicagoland. I'm Munira Zahabi, the niche navigator, and welcome to Munira's Musings. I'm your host, podcaster, author, coach, and international speaker. Each week, I bring you insightful conversations with extraordinary individuals who share their unique perspectives and stories. Join me on this captivating journey as we explore new ideas and inspirations. Now, let's dive into today's episode with our special guest.
Greetings from Chicagoland. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Munira's Musings. We are here with a guest all the way from Thailand, Mr. Thomas Big Al. Am I going to say this right? Schreiter? Is that right?
Very good.
Thank you. And I want to welcome you to Munira's Musings. You are kind of a legend in my show, and I'm very glad that you're here. So thank you for being with us.
You're welcome. And for those listening, legend means really, really old. So
No, I don't think so. I think legend means experience. But ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Munira's Musings, where we explore the unique stories of our incredible guests. Each episode is designed to not only highlight their journey, but also to uncover valuable insights that we can all learn from. Through their experiences, we aim to inspire, educate, and empower you in your own path. So sit back, tune in, and let's dive into the conversations. So, are you Big Al or Thomas?
Both. Big Al is a nickname that most people know me by.
Okay, so you're an engineer by trade.
Yeah, I studied engineering, but never did it because it's really boring.
It's really boring. Why do you say that?
Engineers should not be let out in public, especially socially, because it's all about logic, facts, etc. And people operate on emotions, maybe 100% on emotions. So engineers are totally unprepared. So when I got started 50 some years ago, I was a shy, nerdy, personality free, charisma bypassed engineer. And they told me to, go out and start talking to people. Well, that's probably the world's worst advice, to send somebody like me out there, because I had no skills on how to talk to people. So of course I ruined them all. And I spent my first 2 years looking for new blood, new sales prospects, when the reality was I was already talking to the best prospects, but they didn't say no to the offer. They didn't really say no to me. They just said no to the whole thing. It was just really, really bad. So right now, everybody in business is surrounded by great prospects, but the problem is the way we talk to them, we get them to say no. So that's why a lot of people read all my books, because they say, oh, so I can go back to the same people and get them to say yes. And the answer is, of course. Because think about what we offer people. We offer people, if you're selling health products, you're offering them a chance to live longer instead of dying quicker. If you offer them a business opportunity, you're offering them more money in their life or less money. This is not rocket science. People want what we have to offer, but they may not want the way we offered it. So what we have to do is just learn how to talk to people correctly, so their salesman alarm goes away. They're too good to be true filter goes away. All this sales resistance and bad program they have goes away. So that's the real key to business. It's just talking to people correctly. It's not a matter of finding new people, just talking to people correctly.
So you went from engineering to network marketing. Tell us about that journey. How did that happen?
I just answered a little 4-line ad. And of course, I went down to a meeting they invited me to, and this, of course, 50 some years ago. And there's 150 people in the room. And they had some really strange people up on stage. People were clapping. It was for health products. They were talking about strange things falling out of their colon. I mean, it was ugly. So what happened was, at the end of that meeting, I'm sneaking out the back. And this guy stops me and says, "Were you the guy that answered my ad?" And I said, "Yeah." And I always thought, how did he know, out of 150 people there, that I was the guest that answered his ad? Later on, I found out that I was the only guest. Everybody else was already in the business. So that's how it started. And here's the situation. I told this man, it's not for me. I've been here for 3 hours. I couldn't get past the guards at the back door. It's not for me. No, 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 no. So 3-hour business presentation. My answer is no. But he said something in 30 seconds that changed my no to a yes. Now, think about this. 3 hours, I said no. 30 seconds, I said yes. Wouldn't that be a lesson that maybe our sales presentations are totally useless? It's what we do in our first 30 seconds. And yeah, that's the lesson to take from it. So did I take that lesson? Of course I didn't. I went out and gave sales presentations for my first 2 years and ruined people before I remembered, that's what you say in the first 30 seconds.
So what did he say to you?
He gave me what's called a word picture. And it's a way of describing something. So I said, no, it's not for me. And he said, when you join our business, here is what happens. So if you say this to somebody, you're taking them into the future and they're going to visualize and come up with a movie. He says, when you join this business, here's what happens. 6 months from now, you're going to walk into your boss's office and tell him that you can't fit him in the schedule anymore, that you're quitting because you have your own business. Go back to your desk, pick up your belongings, wave goodbye to all the other office employees who said it couldn't be done, hop into your brand new bonus car and drive home and have a nice glass of your favorite beverage. And I said, oh, okay. How do I join? So the deal is, when we talk to people, I don't know why we give them all these facts and figures and math and stuff. It doesn't work. What works is letting them know what the outcome's going to be. So that was the lesson I learned from it.
So, and over the years, it's been how many? 50 years plus.
Yes.
You've been in this business. Did you just change different companies, or did you just go stuck with one and just took your career to the next level?
I'm a firm believer you just stick with one. And I started in Chicago, and when I moved to Texas and later on to Thailand here, I had to switch companies because the companies aren't everywhere internationally. But the point is, it's hard enough to build one. I don't know why anybody would try to build two.
Right. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you talk in your book. I read one of your books and I listened to some of your talks. You talk that for 22 months you were just it wasn't working for you. So how then did you just change things around? And didn't you ever feel like, I don't want to do this anymore, I'm just going to quit?
Well, let's just show you how naive people can be. I'm in the business 22 months. I haven't made any sales or anything. And then later on, I got to become successful, and people would say, man, we really respect you, Big Al, because you had that vision, determination to keep going. And I had to tell them the truth. The truth was, I didn't know you could quit. Nobody ever told me that quitting was an option. It just never occurred to me, just early 20s, clueless individual. I was totally naive, so it had nothing to do with my personality or anything. It's just that nobody ever said that there was a quit button. I just didn't know that.
Uh-huh. So that's good. So what you don't know will not hurt you. That's the philosophy.
Yeah, I was luckily incompetent. Yeah.
Okay, so how has the networking marketing changed from your time and now?
Well, in the beginning, network marketing and a lot of sales worked like this. You kind of sneak up on a prospect and you try to kind of do a bait or something to get them interested, and then try to get their name and phone number so you can call and set an appointment and say, can I come an appointment and give you a sales presentation? You go over and do this whole sales presentation. At the end, you go into the big close and all this other stuff, and or take them to a 2-hour opportunity meeting, or now, a 30-minute or 1-hour Zoom. That's how it started. But you have to remember, back then, we didn't have these fMRIs that told us how the brain worked.
Right.
And once you and I learn how the brain works, we say, well, that's just stupid. That's not how the human brain makes a decision. So for those that, who are watching this, let me give you the 5 steps that people go through in their brain when we talk to them. And once we know these 5 steps, we're going to see that most of the stuff we do is pretty silly. So when we meet somebody, there's like 5 little steps or checkpoints in their mind, and they go in a specific order. The first question they have in their mind is, who are you? In other words, are you my useless brother-in-law? Are you the president of the company? Are you a famous sports figure that I respect? So the first thing is they're going to look at us when we talk to people. Who are you? Now, we can't really change who we are in the next 30 seconds. So there's really not much we can do about this. We are who we are. But that is the first thing that comes across. So the second question in mind is, can I trust you and believe you? Now, this is about 80% of our success. For instance, if you sold insurance, the average prospect is not going to understand amortization schedules, or, business buybacks and all this other stuff. They just won't. The only decision they can make is, will you, who know this because you're the insurance agent, can I trust you and believe you? So that's the big sale right there. So the first thing is they're going to make a decision. Can I trust you and believe you? Because there's no way we could give them enough information on whatever we do to educate them enough for an intelligent decision. Now, once that is secured, which should take 10, maybe 15 seconds at the most, then the third question is, what am I offering? What's the deal here? This is called an icebreaker. So here's where we announce what we're doing. Now, once we announce what we're doing, which is the answer to the third question, our prospect's going to make an instant and immediate decision if they're interested or not. Now, if they're not interested, we're going to say, fine, let's talk about the weather or shopping. If they are interested, that is an immediate yes decision. So question number 4 is, do I want to do this or not? And that's answered automatically when we announce what we have. So there's really no closing. People always thought this closing was some big deal. There is no closing. Closing happens automatically when they make the choice. What's this all about? So they make a decision. Do I want to do this or not? So if the decision is no, we're done. If the decision is yes, we do step 5. How does it all work? Which is we just do a little presentation about how the business works and what they're going to be doing. We would only give any information like name of the company or how it all works to somebody who's already made a yes decision. Now, these 5 steps, or these first 4 steps, could probably happen in about 20 seconds. There's no need for people to be doing all these things to set up these 20-minute appointments or 45-minute appointments, because it's not how the human brain works. The human brain says, I'm really busy with TikTok and everything else. So do I want to talk to you or not? And what are we going to talk about? Oh, we're going to talk about that? No, I don't want to do it. And we're done. So it's all pretty straight. So what has changed? I'd say everything, about 100%. So there's no need for all of these big sales meetings and consulting things anymore. People can make up their minds pretty straight away.
That's awesome. So, and then in all these years, you've written about 10 books, more books?
A little over 50 books, yeah.
And each one is just talking about the human mind and the decision-making skills?
Some are. A lot of them are talking about individual skills like first sentence. I think I've written about 4 books that cover first sentences and icebreakers. I've written books on closing that explains how closing happens in the beginning. It's not this trickery people try to do at the end. How the human mind makes decisions, how to gain influence, just the basic skills of our profession. So I try to write books on that.
So networking has a big bad hype. Every time you approach somebody, they have this radars up. I don't want to do this. Why are you talking to me about that? How does one overcome that if they are in this business?
Does networking have a bad reputation? Or let's ask a different question. We want to talk to somebody, they don't want to talk to us. And if they can't think of a good excuse, they're going to come up with, it's network marketing. In other words, people are going to make up all kind of excuses about, is this selling? Does it have anything to do with the letter A or B? Or does it have anything to do with the weather? People are normally polite. So they don't want to say no to us. They don't want to take personal responsibility. So they make up excuses. And one of the many excuses they can make up is this networking? I don't want to do that. Is this sales? I don't want to do that. Is this service? I don't want to do anything like that. So the real question probably is, what did we say to trigger that? And what we say to trigger that told them, oh no, you're trying to get me to come to some long sales presentation and you're going to pitch me on something. I'm going to have to pay money and I'm going to talk to other people. Of course they're going to say no to that, sure.
Great. So, and I'm just fishing for information now.
Yeah.
So, tell me, the radars go up. We've said something that's not what is it? What is the one way to get a prospect in maybe 10 seconds?
Okay, let's do a little exercise here. Let me show you how fast the human mind makes a final decision. So if everybody listens to this, I'm going to ask you a question. It says, how do people make decisions? And most people here are going to say the same thing I do. I don't know. 6,000 reasons for and 4,000 reasons against, some sort of hormonal flare-up. Is it wait for lightning to strike their brain? We don't know. But now we do know. So we're in the decision business. And you say, okay, so how are people going to make decisions? They're going to make a decision in the first 10 seconds if they want to talk to us. Say, yeah, you're right. Not an hour later. So you say, all right, so what's really going on? Here it is. The decision happens almost immediately, and people, our prospects, are going to make a decision based upon zero information.
Okay.
Now, when I say that, people get a little upset, so let's just do this little exercise. I'm going to ask everybody here that's listening, is it okay if I take your children skydiving with me? Most people are going to say, oh, no, you can't take my babies. Or some people might say I'd help push those brats out the plane, depending on your relationship. And then I ask, so how quick was that decision? They say, well, right away. And I says, based on what facts? Everybody made the decision before I told them I'm a certified skydiver, that I'm successful 3 out of 4 times, that we're only going to skydive 1 inch. You say, wait, that's kind of strange. People made the decision before they knew that. And the answer is, yeah. People make a decision before the information. So if we give information first, it's probably a bad deal. So let's try this. I'm going to ask everybody here on this call, how many people here have ever entered a relationship or got married and made the decision to enter a relationship or get married before you had all the information? And people go, oh. I said, okay. I says, well, how many people here make a decision if you want to watch something on YouTube in the first couple seconds? Oh, yeah. How many ladies have a husband that channel surf and make their final decision to watch that channel within a half a second before they've seen anything? And all of a sudden, it starts appearing to people that, wait a minute, people don't make decisions on facts. They don't make it on information because they don't have any yet. Once we grasp that, it's our first baby step toward really being able to do business. And it's shocking. I don't expect anybody here hearing it the first time to believe it. It's going to take a while to change our lifelong beliefs, because we were told from childhood it's all about the sales presentation and reading stuff and facts and figures and testimonials and just stupid stuff. But people sort out right away. They either want to live longer or die quicker. They want more money in their life or less money in their life. Want younger looking skin or wrinkled like a prune. What they are doing is making a decision on the outcome. Now, if you remember the word outcome, this will kind of give us a hint. The first thing we should do is let people know the outcome. Once they know the outcome, they can make a decision if they want to know more or not. That's the secret. It's not the information.
Great. Okay, so don't learn all of the facts first. Just go in and talk to people and give them the outcome first.
Right, because they have to make a quick decision. They say, I can either watch TikTok or go to the sales presentation and listen to you talk. Or I can visit my friends and spend time with my family, or go and have you try to sell me something. So this is a decision they have to make. They have to make a decision every moment of their time. So you got to tell them what the outcome is. They say, well, that's worthwhile. I can put the family off and TikTok off for a few minutes to talk about this.
Great. So last question is, how does one choose a networking company they want to work with?
That's a pretty broad question. Probably people join network marketing companies for many different reasons. It's like, how does somebody pick a lifelong mate? So some people are going to say, I know the sponsor, it's a good friend of mine, I trust them. You say, I don't know anything about this business, but I trust my friend. So they made a decision based upon that. Other people say, fall in love with the product or service. I'm all about insurance because my uncle died and I saw what happened to his family. I believe everybody should have insurance. I want to be in a network marketing company for insurance. So they get attached to the product. Or some people get attached to the company's mission. Say this company is all about cruelty-free vegan products that doesn't harm the environment. So they pick for many different reasons. So how does somebody pick it? It depends who you are and what you're looking to do.
Okay, thank you so much. Any last advice for our people?
The last advice is probably throw away almost all the sales books and sales courses you've ever run across, because that's just not how it works in real life. People make instant decisions. They're going to go inside the restaurant and sit down and order food, and they're going to order dessert, and they're going to pay the check. And you have to ask yourself, did they make their final decision when they paid the check at the end? No, they made it before they even walked in the restaurant. Once we can overcome all the programming we've got about how people make decisions and look at it realistically, that's the first step. Once you master that, then things get really clear. But it's going to take a while for us to change our belief system because people don't change belief systems overnight. It's just the reality of it.
I love it. And how do people find you, Big Al?
They just go to bigalbooks.com. We thought, gee, that would be easy to remember. Big Al, BIGAL, books.com. And the web person says, you'll be able to remember that, Big Al. I said, thank you. So just go to bigalbooks.com. If you go there, there's a book called the Happy Networker that you can download free that shows you the 4 core skills, a little bit about how people make the decision. And it's totally free, well within anybody's budget. So go to bigalbooks.com and just look for a thing that says, free stuff and download there.
There you go. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Mr. Tom Schreiter, for being here. It's amazing. And ladies and gentlemen, we have looked at several businesses, several advices from different people. Today was a different niche altogether because it's network marketing. And I read one of the things that Mr. Schreiter has written on it, and he says, we are a networker. If you don't believe it, he said, ask any 5-year-old because they're going to talk to their friends and say, tell your mother to go get that toy for you. And it's Christmas season, so that's what we're doing. We're recommending each other's services. And so we are in the business of network marketing, except that our radars go up and we don't want to work with a business. Sometimes I believe this is a good business to go into because it comes very well prepared for you, and all you have to do is just talk to people. But are you in the business of talking to people? If you are, maybe this is something you want to look at. Ladies and gentlemen, if you like what we are sharing with you, please go ahead and like, share, and subscribe to our channel. We'll see you next week with another guest, another niche, and another perspective. Thank you, Big Al.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye, everybody. See you next week.
Thank you so much for tuning into this week's episode of The Niche Navigator. We hope you enjoyed the conversation as much as we did. If you found value in today's episode, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and leave us a review. Your support really helps us keep bringing you amazing content. For more updates and behind-the-scenes glimpses, make sure to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and all our other social platforms. The links are in the description below. We'd love to hear your thoughts and connect with you there. Thanks again for listening, and we'll catch you next week.